Proverbs 23:7 says, "As a man thinks in his heart, so is he." Your outer life is a direct reflection of what you cultivate within. Napoleon Hill said, "You become what you think about most of the time." The seed of wealth is planted in the invisible field of the mind. Wealth is not luck. It's the result of beliefs, vision, and attitude. A prosperous mind doesn't wait on fate. It creates direction. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance. Proverbs 21:5. Your mental structure defines your future. James Allen wrote, "The mind is like a garden. If not cultivated, weeds will grow." You can plant faith or fear, abundance or scarcity. Everything blooms from the invisible soil of your thoughts. Wishing is not enough. You must believe and act. Hill taught, burning desire plus faith plus action, achievement. Faith without works is dead. James 2:17. You don't create reality with words alone, but with posture. Jim Carrey wrote himself a $10 million check. He visualized, worked, believed. 5 years later, he received that exact amount for a film. He said, "You attract what you believe you deserve." You'll never have what you don't believe you are. Wealth starts with identity. You must see yourself as worthy and capable. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. Hill said, "Be rich inside before you're rich outside." Gratitude changes the frequency of the mind. In everything, give thanks. 1 Thessalonians 5:18. Hill taught that a grateful spirit attracts more to be thankful for. You plant abundance when you honor what you already have. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. The mind is not fixed. It can be reprogrammed. Hill said, "You control your destiny by controlling your mind." Renewal starts with awareness and decision. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. From the heart flow the springs of life. Proverbs 4:23. Your inner vibration shapes your external reality. Hill emphasized, mental energy is creative when combined with faith. Whatever you feed will grow. Feed scarcity, it grows. Feed faith, and prosperity blooms. Whatsoever a man sows, that shall he also reap. Galatians 6:7. Hill said, "You reap what you plant in the soil of the mind." Fear paralyzes and sabotages creation. Hill warned, "Fear is the greatest enemy of success. Fear not, for I am with you." Isaiah 41:10. Faith removes scarcity and opens the door to provision. What vision do you carry? Where there is no vision, the people perish. Proverbs 29:18. Hill said, "Everything starts with a definite purpose. Without vision, no building. With vision, there's direction. Not all silence is empty. Sometimes it's fertile soil. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord." Proverbs 16:20. Hill said, "Success matures in the field of patience. Wait, but work inwardly. Words have the power of life and death." Proverbs 18:21. What you say about yourself shapes who you become. Hill taught, daily affirmations reprogram your destiny. Speak with faith and awareness. Write in the comments now, "My mind is aligned with prosperity." This phrase has power. Declare it, believe it, and activate the shift. True transformation begins in the silence of the mind. It's when you turn off the outer noise and hear God's voice. In quietness and confidence shall be your strength. Isaiah 30:15. Hill said, "A calm mind becomes creative. What is repeated becomes imprinted." Hill recommended repeating your vision daily until it became reality. Meditate on it day and night. Joshua 1:8. Affirmations build a new identity. You weren't born to live limited. I wish above all things that you may prosper. 3 John 1:2. Hill said, "The first step to riches is believing you can." Give yourself permission to prosper. When mind, heart, and action align, clarity comes. Hill taught, "A definite purpose lights the path. The Lord directs the steps of the righteous." Psalm 37:23. Direction appears to those in alignment. Prosperity isn't selfishness, it's responsibility. With more, you can serve better. He who is faithful in little will be trusted with much. Matthew 25:23. Hill said, "Wealth reveals who you really are. Your mind is the soil, your words are the seeds. The harvest of your life depends on what you nurture daily. From the fruit of their mouth, a person's stomach is filled." Proverbs 18:20. Plant in faith, cultivate with action. The thoughts you repeat the most define your destiny. Hill said, "Negative thoughts are invisible obstacles. Be renewed in the spirit of your mind." Ephesians 4:23. Remove what limits, build what frees. One decision can change your entire path. Hill said, "Successful people make decisions quickly and firmly. You will also decree a thing, and it will be established for you." Job 22:28. Decide today to prosper with purpose. Tyler Perry faced abuse, poverty, and rejection, but he fed his faith daily and visualized success. Today, he's a billionaire who built everything with purpose and persistence. His reprogrammed mind was the key. If this message is resonating with you right now, my mind is fertile soil for prosperity. That is your declared seed. Plant it in faith. True prosperity begins in the soul. You can have much outwardly and still feel empty, or overflow inside until everything reflects it. A cheerful heart makes the face cheerful. Proverbs 15:13. Hill said, "External wealth is a reflection of inner wealth." Thoughts are food. You become what you consume, hear, read, watch, and repeat. Above all else, guard your heart. Proverbs 4:23. Hill recommended surrounding yourself with high thoughts daily. Wealth doesn't come from haste, but from consistency. Hill said, "Persistence is to character what carbon is to steel. Plans well laid lead to plenty." Proverbs 21:5. Consistency overcomes chaos. Oprah faced extreme poverty and abuse, but she chose to change the story with faith and vision. She says, "Create the highest, grandest vision for your life. You become what you believe." Today, she's a global icon of mental and spiritual transformation. Scarcity is often inner chaos. When you organize your mind, your faith, and your focus, abundance flows. The wise store up knowledge. Proverbs 10:14. Hill said, "Mental order attracts material order." You don't need to become someone. You already are in essence. You must manifest it. The kingdom of God is within you. Luke 17:21. Hill taught, "You have unlimited creative power when you believe in yourself." Faith is the language of the invisible world. With it, you negotiate with the impossible. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. Hebrews 11:6. Hill said, "Faith is the eternal elixir of creation." You become like the voices you hear. Walk with those who elevate you. Avoid those who drain your faith. Walk with the wise and become wise. Proverbs 13:20. Hill said, "Environments build or break mindsets." Want an extraordinary life? Start with well-lived days. Bless your routine and it will bless your life. Whatever you do, do it as unto the Lord. Colossians 3:23. Hill emphasized, wealth is habit. If this is expanding your awareness, right. I choose to think like the prosperous every day. Mindset is a daily choice. Declare your direction. What you tolerate remains. Tolerate negative thoughts? They multiply. Tolerate scarcity? It expands. Do not conform to this world. Romans 12:2. Hill said, "You attract what you accept." Life changes when you decide to no longer accept your old version. Choose life. Deuteronomy 30:19. Hill said, Decide to be who you were born to be, and the world will make way. Faith moves through words. Say, I am prosperous, I am guided, I am blessed. Believe in your heart and confess with your mouth. Romans 10:10. Hill said, speak it until the mind believes. You must build an atmosphere that strengthens your mind. Environments shape emotional states. Better a little with the fear of the Lord. Proverbs 15:16. Hill taught, positive mental environments create powerful action. Jim Carrey wrote himself a 10 million check while still an unknown comedian. Years later, he received that exact amount for a movie. That's faith in action. Hill said, the mind mastered by faith becomes a miracle maker. Dreaming small and dreaming big require the same mental energy. So why not dream big? Ask, and it will be given to you. Matthew 7:7. Hill said, big dreams activate the creative mind. Hill taught that every human has an antenna connected to infinite intelligence. Prayer, meditation, and faith tune your mind to the divine. The Lord will give you understanding in all things. 2 Timothy 2:7. If you want miracles outside, begin within. A renewed mind creates redeemed realities. All things are possible to him who believes. Mark 9:23. Hill said, your outer world always reflects your inner world. More than a bank account, prosperity is a style of thinking. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance. Proverbs 21:5. Hill taught, wealth is first a mindset, then a lifestyle. If you believe your mind is the beginning of your breakthrough, right. My mind is the starting point of my prosperity. Every thought planted in the mind blooms somewhere in life. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. Hill said, you become what you think about most of the time. You were not born for misery. Misery is a belief system programmed by trauma, culture, and fear. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2-2. Hill taught, you can reprogram any pattern you've inherited. You are one decision away from the life you desire. The power is in the now. Today, I set before you life and death. Choose life. Deuteronomy 30:19. Hill said, definite decisions create definite futures. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. Hill taught, the mind cannot hold two dominant thoughts at once. The eye is the lamp of the body. Matthew 6:22. Change your focus, change your life. Write your new story. Hill advised writing down your desires, goals, and affirmations daily. Write the vision and make it plain. Habakkuk 2:2. The pen is a sword in the mental battle. Negative people are destiny saboteurs. You must guard your mind from toxic voices. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked. Psalm 1:1. Hill said, mentors shape mindsets. It's not enough to imagine. You must feel it as if it's already real. Whatever you ask in prayer, believing, you will receive. Matthew 21:22. Hill taught, emotion is the fuel for effective visualization. You don't need to wait for another moment. The moment is now. Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your heart. Hebrews 3:15. Hill said, immediate action separates achievers from dreamers. Don't align your mind with lack. Align it with promise. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Psalm 23:1. Hill said, a mind ruled by faith becomes unstoppable. If you're ready to leave scarcity behind and reprogram your mind for abundance, write, I am programmed to prosper. Miracles don't happen in stagnation. They manifest when you take the first step. Rise, take up your bed, and walk. John 5:8. Hill said, action is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Tyler Perry spent years sleeping in his car and living in poverty, but he held on to faith and visualized success daily. Today, he's a billionaire with his own studio. He said, Faith kept me alive until the door opened. A mind aligned with divine principles transforms reality. Seek first the kingdom of God, and all things will be added to you. Matthew 6:33. Hill emphasized, when your mind connects with purpose, wealth finds you. You are the miracle. You are God's answer for your generation. For it is God who works in you both to will and to do. Philippians 2:13. Hill said, everything you need is already inside you. If this video touched your heart, declare in the comments, my mind is fertile ground for divine prosperity. Like, subscribe, and share this message with someone who needs it. You're ready to live what God has already prepared.